All right. 3, 2, 1.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome to our Senior Affairs Committee meeting for May 23rd, 2022. Thank you all for joining us. My name is Debbie Quaid, and I chair the committee with my co-chair, Oscar Lorente. This morning, we have an amazing presentation for hurricane season presented by Juan Mestas. He's the Assistant Chief of the Miami Beach Fire Department. Our first order of business is to approve our April 2022 minutes. We're going to move that aside for now until we have the rest of our committee members, and you will get an introduction to them shortly. So without further ado, I would love to welcome on behalf of the committee and all of those of you joining us on Facebook, welcome Juan Mestas, Assistant Chief, Miami Beach Fire Department, who's going to give us a talk on hurricane preparedness. Good morning, Juan. Thank you so much for joining us.
Debbie, thank you. Thank you for inviting me. I'm very, very impressed by you calling my presentation an amazing presentation, and I'll do the best I can to fulfill your expectations here. So let me go ahead and begin by sharing my screen. And let's see. There we go. All righty. Okay, so welcome to hurricane season, and this is the Miami Beach edition. We will try to give you as much information as I can in a short time period. Try to keep it at least a little bit entertaining, and then I'll be open for questions at the end of the presentation. So we will begin with some quick facts. Hurricane season runs from June 1st through November 30th. I know a lot of people, think it's over November 1st, and obviously it's not. So 6 months out of the year, we are in hurricane season. Now, one thing even though we're hurricane season, for 6 months, the peak of the hurricane season is around September 10th, and probably August, September, and October are the heaviest months. The other months, even though it does, we are in hurricane season, it does give us time to prepare and maybe learn from lessons from other hurricanes or tropical storms that may have passed. Then here I have again, forecasters predict an above average season. And from what I've been reading, they're looking at something similar to 2005. Now, those of us that were here in 2005, we can remember there was a slew of storms that went by here. Actually, Katrina came by as a Category 1 through Miami, passed through the middle of the state, and ended up in Louisiana, causing vast amount of damage there. And then there were Wilma. There were quite a few other storms that were heavy during that year. Now, one thing that just a little bit of information is that tropical storms, once they get to 39 miles per hour, that's when they're named. Before that, the waves and everything else, we still keep a watch on them, but they're not named after they reach 39 miles an hour of wind speed. And while I'm on the subject of wind speed is bad enough, but another thing that we have to look out for is the storm surge that often comes with it. And, depending on conditions, you can't really count on a Category 1 hurricane having a minor storm surge and then a Cat 4 or 5 having a major. You can have a pretty good storm surge with a 1. So that's one thing that we're always looking out for, and we will let the public know as soon as we know what's expected in the storm. And as you know, the storms are very unpredictable. We had Irma come through here in 2017, and it looked like it was aiming for City Hall. And that's when we got ready. We evacuated the city. Fact is, we evacuated a good part of city services, including most of the fire department and police department, into the mainland. And then as it progressed and it got closer to us, it moved further and further west, and we didn't get a direct hit. All right. So again, just another quick fact is the tropical storm develops into a hurricane when it reaches 74 miles an hour. And after saying all that, yeah, we're predicting the National Hurricane Center is predicting a very heavy hurricane season, but you only need one. In 1992, we had the storm that hit us straight in August, and it was only one, Andrew, and you can, by the name, Andrew is the first hurricane that was formed that hit us pretty hard. So again, you only need one to have some devastating effects. So some of my recommendations is, and then you will find this everywhere. This is nothing new. If you do your research on preparations for hurricanes, there will be these three guidelines to go by. So number one, have a plan, build a kit, and stay informed. And what I've done since we're gearing this presentation, or rather I geared this presentation for seniors, is that I skipped some of the other parts for brevity and just kind of focused on some of the things that would be important for seniors. So if you need assistance, please use your support network. Talk to family, friends, and others that may be able to help you. Have an emergency plan. One of the things that we do here in emergency management is that we have, among other exercises, we have a hurricane exercise that lasts the better part of a week. And of course, I'm not taking people away from their desks for a whole week. What I do is we send them a scenario for a hurricane that's in the Atlantic, and then it's formed. And as it gets closer to us, then there's different steps that we take to make the city ready. And I say this because it's a good idea for us as we are looking at the storm, us as residents of the city, as we're looking at the storms, as it gets closer, have an idea of what you're going to do as it gets closer, and kind of practice that, even if it's just in your mind. For us, we call those tabletop exercises, and we talk, we exchange ideas, and then, when the time comes, we have a better idea of what we're going to do. Again, make sure everybody knows what your plans are. One thing that's suggested is make sure that somebody has an extra key to your house. And if you need life-saving equipment, for example, CPAP, that kind of thing, other people know how to use it. And the last part of this is practice a plan, like I spoke about earlier. And then, Louis and Debbie, I'm not sure how you want to do this. Should I go through the whole presentation and then be open for questions, or open for questions while I'm doing it? I'm good either way.
Louis, do you want people to raise hands as we go, or wait till the end? I think you're on mute. Let's
Yeah,
wait
I was
till the
muted.
end.
Up to
We'll
you,
take
Chair.
our questions.
Yep.
Okay.
So I'm sorry, I missed it.
We'll save questions till the end.
Very good. Okay, very good. So something important to do also is to build a kit, and along with some of the other things that you should be doing is make sure everything that you have, that medications, your health records, that you have them close at hand, and you put them somewhere that is waterproof. A lot of times, where we may not call for an evacuation, there may be a roof leak, there may be some flooding. So it's good to make sure that everything is dry. All right. Make sure that you have enough supplies for a week. and something that I spoke about earlier, make sure that you have copies of your everything that will take some trouble to replace with you, and in a waterproof container. And if you can, knowing how medication is hard to get nowadays, make sure that you have or try to get an increased supply of medication so that you have it in case the drugstores close, the grocery stores close, and you really can't get to it. Again, talk to your doctor depending on your medical conditions, find out what's the best way to prepare, and talk to your healthcare providers to make sure that you find out in advance what, because some of the places, for example, if we evacuate here in the city, will be closed until we reopen again. So have a good idea. And again, it goes back to the planning as to what you're going to do depending on what situation that you come up with. All righty, evacuation centers. We don't have any evacuation centers here in the city. So if a evacuation is called for, then one thing that I want to make sure that I stress is that if an evacuation is called for, please evacuate. I'll share a story. I work with urban search and rescue also, and I've responded to probably, I don't know, maybe 20 hurricanes, including Maria in Puerto Rico, including Michael up in the Panhandle. And during the when the storm Michael was forecast to hit the Bay Area, where we were deployed to the exact place where the eye of the hurricane hit. It's called Mexico Beach. People were told to evacuate. Many people decided to stay home. So the sheriff went home, house to house, to get names of everybody that stayed. When we got there, in the huge devastation that was there, the sheriff, who was smart enough to evacuate, gave us a notebook about 4 inches thick, handwritten, of everybody that stayed behind. So what we did is we geolocated or found out where the addresses were. And as you know, in a hurricane, you may not be able to find an address. So we had to do it by GPS. And then we sent people out to locate, whoever it is that stayed. And I can tell you that more than a handful of people did not survive the hurricane. So they decided to stay home. Some very sad stories about people that decided to stay. And my recommendation, very strong recommendation, is that if an evacuation is ordered, please make sure that you evacuate. If you need help evacuating, there are buses that make the rounds in the city. There's services that if you have a electrically dependent, you can register and you can be evacuated. So, definitely a number of ways that you can take advantage of the evacuation. So please do that. Which brings me to the second slide on here, which, there'll be buses going around, and also there'll be other transportation available for those people that, can't make it to the bus to make the evacuation. So I can't stress strongly enough, if they say evacuate, please evacuate. All right, so if you have special needs that I spoke about earlier, then there's a number you can call and you can register. And what we do, it's called the Emergency Evacuation Assistance Program. What we do is there's an order to the way the evacuations are done. So the first people that are evacuated are the people that have special needs. And we in the fire department put together about 5 or 6 ambulances that we go and pick up these people and take them to a special assistance center so that they get the care they need before the storm is anywhere being closed or before the general evacuation order is called. So that's the order pretty much of how it starts. Then we evacuate the hotels, and then after that it's just a general evacuation. And getting back to the evacuation, when it's time to evacuate, don't wait, because what will happen is that When everybody decides to evacuate at the same time, then we only have really 3 good ways to get out of the city, that, or you can go north. And everything will be crowded. Everybody knows what weekend traffic and just general day-to-day traffic looks in Miami Beach. Imagine evacuation of people trying to get out that decided at the last minute that they wanted to get out. So please heed the warning. All right. And I purposely made it a short presentation because I think probably the best thing is I can't answer all your questions in a presentation. You out there will probably have questions that I can answer and just me sit here and talk. So if you would, I'll go ahead and open it up for questions.
I have a question. When is the appropriate time to call 911 without clogging up? Is there a different number when you need help and it's not a severe emergency? No.
There's a number 311 that you can call, and it goes to the county. And I'm sorry, there's somebody there talking. You have a suggestion or question? Okay, it's 311, and you can call that number, and that is for non-emergencies, that they can route you to the right person to take care of the issue that you may have.
So 311 is a county phone call, and they will put us on Miami Beach or whatever is needed on Miami Beach. Is this 311 number used for any other time or just during emergencies?
No, it's used year round. And now when it is that we have an emergency, and I know that we had it all through probably most of the COVID crisis, is that pandemic rather, the city itself will have a number that you can call, and we have basically an answering desk, and we call it a resident information program, and people can call that number, and I don't have it with me, I'm sorry, but it is regularly published by our communications division, and you can call that number at any time and you can get information there.
Great. Louis, is it possible to get that number and put it into our minutes for next month? It's called what was it called, Juan?
Resident information. I forget what the last letter stands for. Resident information.
And that's to use if it's a non-emergency, but
Yes.
you need assistance.
Right. It may not be active now because there is a citywide emergency, but I know that during COVID, for example, seniors that may want to get homebound seniors that may have wanted in-home testing, it was available then, and they could call that number and we could get some help out to them.
Okay. Could you put back on the screen that registration number for people that will need assistance? And people can register now or anytime during the year, and then this support team will get in touch with them?
Yes, and the fact is, what we do as we get, I believe Miami-Dade does one right around the beginning of the hurricane season. Then as we see a storm approaching, then we go ahead and do a pre-call. Miami Beach, what we do is Miami-Dade County tells us, okay, these people live in Miami Beach, and we open up an answering, service, and we start calling. And it happens here in the Department of Emergency Management and Division rather of Emergency Management. And we go ahead and make the calls and say, okay, are you still in need of help? And will you be home? And if the person says yes, then, we put that in the plan to evacuate them. A lot of times people move, they go elsewhere, they go out of the city, or, they get better and they may not need any kind of assistance. So we make sure that we call the person beforehand, which helps make the whole experience a lot less stressful for, not only you, but also for us.
That's great. Does anyone else have any questions for Juan? I think that was pretty thorough. No, Louis, we don't have any hands up?
I have a question, please.
Yes, Anil.
Yes.
All right. I'm not very well I don't know very well the process. For example, when people are evacuated, so they are going to a shelter.
Yes.
Oh, okay. But how the family knows where they are, how they can locate the family members?
That's something that the person lets them know. I mean, nowadays everyone has a cell phone, so they can call. They can call the family member and tell them I'm at this or that center. Don't have a cell phone and can't make the phone call. Once you get to the shelter and you know where you are, then they can make the phone call for you.
All right. Okay. Thank you.
Any other questions? No? Thank you. All right, Juan, we're gonna let you go back. Yes, Louis, you're on mute. Louis? You're
Yes,
on
I see
mute.
what he's doing there. What he's showing is a hurricane guide.
Mhm.
And the hurricane guide is, that one there is in the city's website. And it is put out by our human resources department, but emergency management has a large part in writing it. So there it is right there that Louis is showing us. So a lot of the information that I gave you today, you can find there. It's in English and Spanish also. So, you can, it's not in Spanglish, which is probably the language that I speak the best, but it's there and it's available for anybody to take a look at it. And what we do is we don't, in order to save resources, we don't print it out, and we have a relatively small number that we do print out, but people can access it through our website.
Okay. I'm going to ask each of our representatives from our senior housing to make sure that your building, your managers has a copy of that current hurricane preparedness book. And if not, get in touch with Louis and he'll make sure that something is provided so that there's an easy reference to share with all the residents.
Okay.
And I will send my usual email that I send out after every meeting. Will include the link to the website specific where basically we can find all this information. And then I just want to put on the record, Chair, the phone number I think that Chief Mestis was referencing was 305-604-CITY or 2489. I think
Okay.
305.
305
Go ahead.
604-2489. And that's the I think the city's basically hotline.
Resident information line.
There you go. Thank you.
I finally got it.
Perfect. And so that will be included there. And then I think the chief also shared the emergency number for the county, right? 305-468-5400.
Okay, if that's all for our questions, we're going to thank you for joining us. Thank you for your service to the city of Miami Beach and to all of our residents. We're very grateful to have people like you and our leadership team. And thank you for giving us your time this morning. Have a
Thank you for
beautiful
having me.
day.
Thank you for having me. Thanks.
Thank you, chief.
Bye. Before we go on, I'd like to recite the mission statement of our Senior Affairs Committee. We are to be the advocates for the betterment of our seniors by promoting the physical, emotional, and social well-being of adults aged 55 years and older that are living in our diverse community of Miami Beach. And we love bringing programs to you. If you have any ideas of programs that you would like us to have for a meeting, please get in touch with Louis, aide to Commissioner. And we'll be more than happy to get the information to you.
And Chair, we have quorum, so if you want to.
Okay, great. Then I'm going to do an introduction and roll call, and we'll go ahead and approve our April 22 minutes. Blackstone Apartments, Maria, are you with us today? Maria Moraro? Council Towers South, Natasha.
Here I am.
Yes, Council Towers North, Gladys. Navarro. Federation Towers, Magui. Yes, we always.
Yes, here I am.
Four Freedoms House, Nilda, Thomas.
I'm here.
Yes.
Okay.
Rebecca Towers, do we have Anna approved right now?
We
for
do
her name?
not, we're still working through that.
Okay, thank you. Stella Mars, Gabby. Beglito. Unidad, Larissa.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning. Carolina. Carolina Kujus.
Good morning.
You're here.
Good
Good
morning.
morning. Gabriel Paz, Hispanic Affairs Committee Chair. Jewish Community Center Services, Sandra Ala, I think I saw you.
Present. Good morning.
Good morning. And Mount Sinai, Oscar has an excused absence this morning. Thank you all for joining us. And at this point in time, we're going to approve our April 2022 minutes. Has everybody had a chance to review them?
Yes.
Can someone please make a motion to approve April 2022 minutes?
Aye.
Aye.
Second,
So motion by Carolina, second by Maggie.
those in favor? Aye.
Yes.
Aye.
Opposed?
Hi.
Okay.
Unanimous, perfect.
Unanimous approval of the April 2022 minutes. Thank you all. And we're going to go on to our March calendar of events, and then we're going to come back to each senior center. Why don't we do the senior centers first? A report from Blackstone. I don't think we
Maria's
have-
absent, so
Yeah.
no report.
Council Towers South, Natasha, do you have a report for us?
Yeah. Yes, good morning.
Natasha, how are things at Council Towers South? Is anybody in need of anything right now?
Good morning, everyone. Happy Monday. Thank you so much for very important information. The Council Tower South continuing the reparation in advance. We continue practicing activity like yoga, Zumba, Tai Chi, art, etc. in the Federation building, and starting practicing women football in the Flamingo Park. Thank you.
Thank you. Council Towers North. Federation Towers.
I'm here.
Maureen.
I was in vacation. I'm a little bit out of everything, but I think it's everything going great over here in Federation. Okay? Thank you.
Okay, thank you. For Freedom's House.
Okay, good morning. I'm here. Well, everything for Freedoms, everything is going well. We are having some events. So everything is all right. Okay.
Good, thank you. Rebecca Towers will pass on right now. Stella Maris, Gabby. Did I see Gabby this morning? Unidad, Larissa.
Good morning, everyone. Can you hear me?
Yes.
I'm having problems here with the internet. Yeah, this month we are, and next month, I'm sorry, we're going to be celebrating Father's Day as we did with the Mother's Day for the mothers of the center. This is, I know I have sent flyers for everyone, but just like a friendly reminder, these events that we have at Unidad, like all the other events, are only for registered participants at Unidad of Miami Beach, okay? And
how does one register?
they have to come to the center. We do registrations Monday through Friday from 2 to 4. They have to bring their documents and demonstrate that they are residents of Miami Beach, be 60 and older, and that they want to participate in the lunch program that we have.
And the address to go to?
7251 Collins Avenue. Phone number is 305-867-0051.
Everybody have that?
Larissa, anybody can go at any day, Monday through Friday?
Monday through Friday,
Okay.
60 and up. Not everybody lives.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
My pleasure.
Carolina, do you have anything you'd like to share with us?
Good morning,
Good
everyone.
morning.
I'm so sorry, Normita. Everything is okay. It's fine for this, for my.
Okay, great. Gabriel, did he join us?
No.
Okay. Sandra, the Jewish Community Services of South Florida, is there anything you'd like to update us about? Any events or anything that's needed?
Good morning. Yes, I would just like to announce that we officially opened our congregate meal site on Espanola Way at the JCS Diener Center last week. So we are providing hot meals again for lunch and activities.
And how does someone register and what are the hours and days?
So it's Monday through Friday. I don't know the exact hours that they start the lunch service. I would say probably around 11 a.m., but they can call our main number at Access Services, 305-576-6550 to register.
Okay, you want to repeat that number just once more, thanks.
Sure, 305-576-6550. We are also providing therapeutic services in that same location and the same number for Access Services if you are in need of any therapeutic services from JCS.
What do you mean by therapeutic service?
We provide behavioral health therapy sessions in that location. It's a split location for the congregate meal site and behavioral health services. So if someone is in need of counseling.
Okay, and you said Espanola Way, whereabouts?
Let me pull the exact address. I'm not out of that location, so I'm going to pull that up for you and let you know.
Okay, perfect. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
And Oscar from Mount Sinai is absent today. Louis, you might want to ask Oscar to talk to us at one of the meetings about Mount Sinai again and how they handle hurricane preparedness and what options are available for our residents on the beach. It's a wonderful, wonderful services that they do have. And if there's no further questions, we're going to go on to our March calendar of events. Louis, do you want to share the screen on some of these?
It's actually June, Chair.
Oh,
And I think I have it up, right?
I'm reading off the, okay, I'm sorry, June calendar of events.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is
I made a
our-
mistake on the agenda, writing May.
That's okay. And I can't see on the corner, which center is this?
This is Unidad.
Unidad.
And so I checked with our Parks and Recs. They actually suspend programming. Let me pull the email here.
Okay.
To read it verbatim. Maggie, could you mute yourself? We're hearing. So they suspend Flamingo and Scott Rakeout during the summer, and they will start up again in September. So this is what you're looking at is just Unidad.
Okay, so you can see all of the things that are available: outdoor yoga, chair yoga, the lunch program, which we just talked about registering for, and bring your proof of residency, bingo, choir. There's a lot of amazing things for you to do. There's a Father's Day luau, so take a look. And if you have any need to get this calendar, Louis can assist you where you can obtain it, and hopefully it is posted in each of our senior centers. Thank you. New business. What do we have for new business? Is there anything somebody would like to bring up? Magui?
Déjame anotarlo, esperamos un momentito. Que acabo de regresar de vacaciones, estoy un poco.
And then you take the call.
All right. Louis, do you have any new business that you'd like to discuss?
Nothing. I'll run with that idea, Chair, of asking Oscar for the Mount Sinai hurricane preparedness.
Okay. We do have a list of our upcoming meeting dates, and currently, next one is Monday, June 27th, Monday, July 25th, Monday, August 22nd, Monday, September 26th, Monday, October 24th, Monday, November 28th, and our Monday, December 26th will most likely be canceled due to the holiday season. Does anyone have a suggestion for our May meeting topic?
June, I made a mistake.
I'm sorry,
July.
June.
July even.
Damn, that's okay. June meeting.
Yeah, June. I think Mount Sinai hurricane preparedness would be good. You're right.
Okay, fantastic. Staff liaisons report. Louis, you're going to give us upcoming food distributions and our upcoming city commission meeting.
Correct. The upcoming full city commission meeting, June 22nd from 8:30 onwards. And the upcoming food distribution, we have one this Thursday, May 26th in North Beach. And then another one again in June 16th in South Beach. And then the June 23rd, Thursday again in North Beach. So those are the three upcoming
Okay,
ones.
can you give the address locations, please?
In North Beach, it's 7501 Collins Avenue behind the North Shore Library. And that's this Thursday. And then the South Beach is the South Shore Community Center, 833 6th Street. And that's June 16th. And then another one in North Beach, June 23rd, behind the North Shore Library. All of our events start at 9. And people do have to now qualify based on their income. The federal government is reinstating that requirement that was pre-pandemic, basically. And so during the pandemic, they waived that, and now they're reinstalling. So it's taking us much longer to get through the line. So we
And
asked
what do they have to bring to show that they qualify?
just basically they have to give us their name, address, and sign, and then basically tell us their sort of income level. That was it. That we no
And
ID.
what's the income level that qualifies?
So I have him here. Basically, if the person's receiving social, if they're income eligible, that means that, you know, household size of 1, annual income of 16,744, household of 2, 22,000, 3, 28,548, and so forth and so on. We have a whole table basically.
Okay.
And then if you receive SNAP food stamps, you're already sort of pre-qualified. Medicaid as well as supplementary security, social security income. That's already sort of pre-qualified if you.
Okay.
So that's what's happening. A status on the motion that we made last month. The commissioners weren't able to get to it because it was towards the end of the night. And so it was sent to the Neighborhood Affairs, Neighborhood and Quality of Life Committee for further discussion. So it's currently there for further discussion.
And that's the crosswalk?
Correct, at 87th and Harding, yes. So that's for North Beach. And then there is a new park that was just sort of, they did the ribbon cutting for it. I have a great picture I want to share. It sort of shows you that our community is doing great things. And so this is all the commissioners attending the ribbon cutting. There's Mayor Gelber, Commissioner Rosen Gonzalez, Ricky Ariola, Fernandez, obviously my boss, as well as the city manager. So it was a great day. And this is right next to Federation Towers, right there on Alton and 8th and between 7th and 8th, basically. And then Larissa mentioned Father's Day celebration at Unidad.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
And for those of you that aren't familiar with the park, this is a beautiful park with water reclamation that's going to help with our drainage. It's state-of-the-art technology. And that was donated to the city of Miami Beach by the developers, Russell Galvett and David Martin of Terra Group. The deed was transferred over to the city of Miami Beach. The ribbon cutting was done, and now our Parks and Recreation will be in charge of taking care of it. There's a lovely area of slides and things for children. Adults cannot go into this little cage section unless they're with a child that's 12 years old or younger. Russell Galbert had put his first installation was Rosie the Elephant, and reminiscent of the original Rosie the Elephant we had on Miami Beach. And so it's a really nice section if you want to bring your children, and everything is open to walk around, and please enjoy the park. It's going to be a great addition to South Beach. You can get to it by trolley. And so it's easy access, and there's shade areas and seating areas and benches. And that is, go ahead.
Yeah. And there's going to be a referendum, I believe, in August or in November for the naming. So the voters, the residents will need to decide if they, what name they will give it. I think.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, I think the name Canopy Park is in
Right.
in
Currently,
running.
they're calling it Canopy Park.
Right. And then originally the commissioners had agreed to put before the voters the name Sunset Park, but then there was some hesitation that it might get confused with Sunset Harbor. So we'll see what happens.
Okay. So if you guys have a preference, Canopy Park, I think, was chosen by the developer originally because of the trees and the canopies and so on. It will be part of the amazing new bridge that's going to be expanding over 5th Street. And maybe that would be a good idea to bring to one of our meetings to show what that future bridge is going to be. And it'll be something that'll help get our residents from Canopy Park, and they can go up and over and go into south of 5th without crossing that major highway. That'll be a covered, very colorful, artistic bridge that'll put you down to South Point Park, the walking trail, the marina, Monty's, some of our great Joe's Stone Crab, the great restaurants and cafes. So that also is going to be something very interesting for our seniors to look forward to and get outside and have some activity.
Yes.
If there are no other questions, no other new information, I'm getting ready to close the meeting. Is there any hands up, Louis, that you can see?
Nothing. Nope.
All right. Then
Oh, wait, we have Sandy just raised her hand.
Sandy,
Hi.
yes.
Sorry, I just want to give the address. It's 610 Espanola Way for
Okay.
the JCS Diener Center.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Does everybody have that? 610 Espanola Way. Thank you, Sandy. So at this time, I'd like to have a motion to adjourn our meeting.
I motion.
All right, Sandy motions.
Do I have a second?
Aye.
That was Carolina? Yes.
Okay, all in favor? Aye.
Perfect.
Opposed, nay. Unanimous approval. The meeting is now closed. Thank you, and I'll see you all next month, June 27th. Have a beautiful day.
Bye, everybody.
Thank you so much. Very nice.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Very nice. Nice to see you again.